All right, earlier in the week, former President Donald Trump posted the $175 million bond in his civil fraud trial, allowing him to appeal the insane judgment against him from a clearly biased judge, an attorney general fulfilling a campaign promise to get one man, one family, one organization. Now the AG of New York has apparently decided she's not happy with the payment. Oh, imagine that. She is officially taking exception to the bond and demanding that either Trump or the bond company prove that they will be able to pay it out when called upon. But the Trump organization says the bond is fully backed by cash, and AG James is just continuing what is a harassment campaign. Here with reaction is former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi, Fox News legal analyst Gregg Jarrett. Pam, let's get your take. Really? It's backed up by cash, is my understanding. So if they were to get the bond payment, it would be handed over in a day. Why is there a problem here?
Yeah. There's not, Sean. This is completely contrived. I am convinced of this. Think about this. She filed this motion, and within 10 minutes, Judge Engoron gave a hearing date. Gregg will tell you, in New York, in any jurisdiction, that does not happen. Her puppet, Judge Engoron, set this hearing date immediately. I believe this is Letitia James trying to stay in the news cycle because she's become irrelevant, and this case will get reversed. You know, the appellate court ordered a TRO, which is a stay in the case, which means there's a substantial likelihood that President Trump will be successful on the merits in this case. This case will get reversed, and yes, the bond was posted. She's just trying to stay relevant right now.
All right, let's get your take, Gregg Jarrett, and also I saw your column writing about how the judge should be conflicted out in the Alvin Bragg case. If you can explain that as well.
Well, this is another example of vindictive and abusive behavior by Letitia James. Trump paid all cash. You're right, Sean, for the $175 million bond. It's fully collateralized. It's a valid bond. James, who got spanked by the appellate court, is now trying an end run to disqualify the surety company, claiming it's not a standard carrier in New York. Well, I got news for her. That's not required because this is an excess carrier. As long as it has sufficient capital, and it does, over $1 billion in equity, then it's approved to issue Trump's bond. Pam's right. The truth is, James got humiliated by the higher court. She's desperate to stop Trump's appeal. She knows she's going to lose. She doesn't care about the law, only about fulfilling her campaign vow to nail Trump by hook or by crook. And as for the other case, Judge Merchant in the Alvin Bragg hush money case, he should recuse himself. First of all, his gag order is an unconstitutional prior restraint on free speech, and he's conflicted out. As reported, his daughter has a financial interest in the outcome of her dad's case because she and her client, she runs a firm that raises money for politicians, has made out to the tune of some $93 million, according to the New York Post, by promoting and soliciting money by citing her father's case. That's a violation of judicial ethics. It demands recusal by the judge.
And by the way, representing people like Adam Schiff, let's get your take on that. Pam, should the judge be conflicted out here?
Absolutely, Sean. His daughter has been in the news, and then he puts a gag order on the president saying that he can't talk about this. That's his First Amendment right, his right to defend himself publicly about these allegations. I think that's one of the most egregious things, frankly, that's happened in this case. He absolutely needs to recuse himself. No doubt in my mind.
But
he
Pam,
won't.
This is not our first rodeo. We saw it with Manafort and Roger Stone. They couldn't even use social media to proclaim their innocence. You know, and if they did open their mouth, they were told very clearly they'd be sent right to jail. Don't pass go, go straight to jail.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and that's what they want to do. They want to put Donald Trump in jail.
Yeah, Pam, let Pam go.
There's no exemption in the First Amendment that protects judges or their adult children who are fundraising off their father, the judge's case. Almost all of these gag orders are unconstitutional. The trouble is, by the time a defendant seeks an appeal successfully, the case is over. The trial has been had. So judges do it with impunity, even though they shouldn't.
I agree. I would think this is an issue at some point I'd like to see the Supreme Court, Pam Bondi, weigh in on.
Yeah, and Judge Engeron got away with it, if you recall, saying, you can't talk about my clerk. Well, President Trump can say whatever he wants to about the clerk, but of course he had to abide by the gag order, and now this judge is following suit about his daughter. The president has a right to defend himself. He is the leading candidate for the next American presidency, and he has the right to defend himself. It's his First Amendment right, and there's nothing more they would want than to see him in jail.
All right.
It's unbelievable.
Let me ask both of you this. Do you, of the cases that are brought against President Trump, the Bragg case, the D.C. case, the Fulton County, Georgia case, the Florida case, how many of them will be tried before Election Day in 213 days? What's your best guess? About 20 seconds each, Greg.
Well, it looks like the only one that we're going to get to anytime soon is the Alvin Bragg case, which is supposed to happen in a week. The judge won't recuse himself. He should. I don't think there's enough time to get him removed through an order by the higher court. And this is the weakest of all cases, but you've got a New York jury that hates Trump and a biased judge.
Your take, Pam.
Yeah, the same. The other cases will get continued. The other ones are on appeal. The Alvin Bragg case most likely will go. And, people need to remember, he has to be sitting in that courtroom. He can't be on the campaign trail if that goes to trial. So they're going to try to appeal it, but I'm scared it's going to go to trial. But you know what? Americans see this for what it is. It's the ultimate weaponization. They're keeping Donald Trump sitting in a courtroom, basically gagged, where he can't campaign. But everyone is seeing that this is lawfare. They are attacking him, trying to keep him from the presidency. And I think his poll numbers are going to go up and up the more they do this to him, Sean.
All right, we'll see if you're right. So far, that's been the case, which is defied, as I often say, all conventional political gravity. Pam Bondi, thank you. Gregg Jarrett, thank you. When we come back, the climate alarmist, religious cultists, well, guess what? Are they about to come for your genes? The one and only Jimmy Fallon, well, he'll answer that as only he can. Straight ahead. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.